How are you guys doing today? My name is Andy.montalvo. I'm a real estate agent here in Houston, Texas with Sotheby's International Realty. And lately I've been getting a couple questions about, what the differences are between the different areas in around Houston. So I wanted to start this little series kind of covering some of the different areas of what I believe, it's the most important things you need to know about those areas. That way you can kind of compare them, see which one's best for you, which one fits your lifestyle the best. Now, if you're watching this and buying a house is one of your plans in the future, check this video out. It's going to kind of give you a rundown of what it's like to buy a house in this 2021 market, in the seller's market that we're currently facing. But anyways, back to it. The first thing I wanted to cover about Katy is its neighborhoods. Now, when you first arrive to Katy, it looks like it's just one big neighborhood. However, Katy is actually made up of several master plan communities by different developers. And within those master plan communities, you have neighborhoods. Now, some of those master plan communities include Cinco Ranch, Seven Meadows, Jordan Ranch out west, Falcon Point, Kellywood, just to mention a few. So as you're driving through Katy, you start seeing some changes in maybe the street signs or some of the logos that you see in front of some of the neighborhood names and that kind of stuff. Those are just the different master plan communities, and those are the neighborhoods designated to those master plan communities whenever they were built. Now, majority of those single family homes in Katy will sit between the I-10 and 1093 region. Now, once you step to the north side of Katy, you can start seeing homes with a little more acreage of land, a little more spread out, more of a rural type of feel. However, you are seeing development of new construction communities on that north side, and it's just bound to happen as Katy continues to grow and grow year after year. Now, one question I get a lot from people is about the age of homes and what kind of age of house they're buying. Now, when you are in Katy, you can kind of follow a general rule of thumb and say that the closer you are into Houston, the older the home is going to be. Now, that does kind of matter sometimes when it comes to pricing of the house, because if you are looking sometimes for more home than the price that you can afford, sometimes it's a smarter choice to go with an older home. You can get a little more square footage, maybe more backyard, than if you were to go with a brand new house for the same price. Now, on the subject of pricing, the median sales price in Katy, Texas for a single family home was $366,000 this November 2021. And that is up from November 2020, when the price for a single family home in Katy was a median price of around $306,000. Now, that is a big price increase, but those price increases are pretty much happening everywhere right now. Now, I want to go a little bit into what it's like living in Katy. In itself, Katy is very well planned and very well structured. One of my favorite things about Katy, and I think a lot of people agree with me on this, is how many parks and trails are kind of embedded throughout the neighborhoods. Even now more than before, the trails and parks in Katy are more connected. You can pretty much spend a whole day just riding from park to park, riding down the trails, spending a nice day outside. This makes it a very great place to, just get out, take the family out on a walk, take the dogs out on a walk, go on a bike ride, for kids to go out and play and that kind of stuff. Plus, the parks in Katy have a lot of amenities that are very fun for families and people just going out and trying to enjoy themselves. You can go to George Bush Park, where they have soccer fields, they have baseball fields, they have even more intense bike trails and that kind of stuff. You can go out to just the regular neighborhood parks where there's a lot of play sets and a lot of green spaces. There's also a lot of gazebos for you to have events and all that kind of things. As you drive around, you start seeing them and you start learning about the places that you would like to maybe see in the neighborhood and that you should check out maybe for a future event, a birthday party, or you're just trying to spend a nice day outside. Now, while majority of Katy is neighborhoods and parks, it does offer a good variety of restaurants, shopping, and kind of places where you can go have good drinks, get a good bite to eat for breakfast or for dinner, all that kind of stuff. You have places like La Centera, which is probably one of the more popular areas here in Katy, specifically because it's right off 99, so it's right when you enter Katy. You also have Katy Mills Mall, where you can go out and do some shopping, and on a hot summer days, you can visit the water park right next door. Now, one main concern for people whenever they're moving into Katy or whenever they're looking at these neighborhoods that are so well built is the property tax. Now, property taxes in Texas are higher than majority of property taxes around the country. However, Texas doesn't have a state income tax, so it kind of balances out. Now, when you go to Katy, Katy probably has some of the more expensive property taxes in the city of Houston. Now, you gotta realize that your property taxes do go towards a lot of things in your community, like your schools, the infrastructure, like roads and sidewalks and that kind of stuff. The police, the fire department, and other services that are provided. So it makes sense. With living in such a great community like Katy, you are going to be paying higher taxes. Now, taxes will vary, and it really depends on what kind of area of Katy you're living in. So usually in the older communities of Katy, you can find tax rates maybe around 2.2 to 2.8%. And then as you grow to the newer areas of Katy, it can get as high as 3.2, even 3.6. I've even seen higher some years. It really just depends on how new the neighborhood is and what area of Katy it's in. Now I realize that your property taxes will decrease as time goes by, as the infrastructure gets built up, as the schools get developed and that kind of stuff. Now that brings us to what 100% is the number one reason people move to Katy. And it's not the life, it's not, sunny weather or pretty neighborhoods. It's the schools. Now, Katy Independent School District is the number one school district in the entire Houston area. So you get a lot of people trying to live here. And that's what drives a lot of families into Katy, is the good education. Pretty much all the schools in Katy are A+ rated. And that is another reason your property taxes are a lot higher in Katy. You can see the benefit of your property taxes and what it's going towards. You are getting the best school district in Houston and one of the best school districts in Texas and the nation in itself. Well, guys, that is what I believe is the most important information that you need to know about Katy, Texas. Whenever you're moving here, whenever you're looking to move here, or maybe if you already live here and you just moved here and you don't really know much about it. If you want to learn a little more about the real estate market in these areas, don't forget to check this video out. That is my October market update for the real estate market here in Houston. If you have any questions or if there's anything that I didn't cover that you would like to see covered in these videos for these communities around the Houston area, please put them down below. I would love your feedback and I would love to get your questions answered. As always, please don't forget to like and subscribe, as your support means everything to me. I hope to keep bringing you informative and educative content on a weekly basis, so tune in every week and don't miss out. That's all I have for you guys today, and I'll see you guys next time.